Well, hey there, church family. It's Brock, and I'm glad that this week I get a chance to talk to you about this next moment in our service. It's our offering moment. You know, in my family, we are always on the lookout for good stories. I'm a preacher, always looking for illustrations. My wife is a writer. We have librarians in our family, and so we are interested in good stories, but not only stories that we get to watch or read or hear, but stories that we get to tell. And you know, there's a lot of ways you can tell a story with your life. You can tell a story that's about chasing success. You can tell a story that's about raising a family. You can tell all sorts of different narratives with the way that you live. But as I think about what Jesus is doing in the lives of his disciples, when I think about the new creation that Christ is establishing in his followers, I am constantly reminded that Jesus is telling a giving story, not a story of taking. And that's why this next moment in our service is so important for us to do every week. It's because there is so much in our culture, so much in our society, and honestly, so much inside of us that just gravitationally pulls us every week to tell a story that's about taking and getting and receiving. And Jesus is working the opposite direction and telling a story through us about giving. And so that's why we do this. That's why we do it every week. That's why we do it as part of our worship, because we're trying to remind ourselves of the story that we are living into. And so I hope you'll join us in the next few moments as we give as part of our worship. And before I let you go, I want to let you know that today we have a special guest speaker, my friend Andy Johnson. Many of you know Andy. He's a member of our church, and he's a fantastic leader. He works for Missions Resource Network and works as a trainer and a support for missionaries who are working all over the world. Andy studied at Abilene Christian University and got degrees in the Bible Missions and Ministry Department. He and his wife Melissa and their family served as missionaries for a number of years in northern Africa in the small country of Burkina Faso. But now they live here in the U.S. and they are members of our church, and I am thrilled about the message that you get to hear him share today, because I've already heard it and I know it's something that's going to be a blessing to you. So put your seatbelt on and tune in here in just a minute as Andy brings us a word from the Lord.